Chicago is the first major city in the nation with a plan to prevent sex trafficking, domestic violence, sexual assault, and other forms of abuse. As Mike Lowe reports in tonight's cover story, the city's strategy took shape when incidents increased during the pandemic.
As the COVID crisis raged,
pandemic created isolation.
A shadow pandemic was unfolding behind the closed doors of quarantine and on the empty streets of the city.
Rates of violence actually increased dramatically under COVID-19.
With social distancing and isolation forcing people into close quarters, Chicago experienced a dramatic increase in domestic violence. Among the statistics is an abuse survivor we're simply calling Joe.
The pandemic fostered a way for violence to happen more privately and nowhere to go.
She was terrorized by the man she was living with.
Emotional, physical, and psychological abuse. It's more common than what some may expect.
It's a problem so widespread that a statewide domestic violence hotline received 32,000 calls last year. The number of murders and shootings stemming from domestic violence in Chicago increased nearly 2/3 from 2020 to 2021. Meantime, during the pandemic, another form of sexual violence, human trafficking, became the fastest growing crime worldwide.
Kept me in a hotel and worked me in truck stops.
In Chicago, at least 16,000 women and girls become trafficking victims every year.
We are the third largest hub in the country
according to survivor and advocate Brenda Myers-Powell.
But I was abducted by two pimps and put in the trunk of a car and taken off into Indiana, and where they abducted me and they put me under what they call pimp arrest.
Myers-Powell says she was forced into prostitution from the age of 14 to 39.
In that time, I've been shot 5 times, stabbed over 13 times. Numerous of things of violence has happened to me, all kinds of violence, and that is the normal for most women in human trafficking.
Domestic violence and sex trafficking are only 2 slivers of what experts call gender-based violence. It's an umbrella term that encompasses domestic violence, human trafficking, sexual assault, and other forms of abuse.
Gender-based violence is a really significant problem in the city of Chicago.
Samantha Luce is the director of the Violence Prevention Initiative, Project SAFE, at the City Colleges of Chicago.
Domestic violence is actually a huge driver of gun violence in Chicago, and so it's really interconnected with a lot of other kinds of violence that we see about and really we see and care about in Chicago.
It is vital for us to continue creating safer and more resilient communities.
Mayor Lori Lightfoot saw the numbers, listened to the victims, and determined that fighting this shadow pandemic would require the full force of city government, not simply the cops and courts. She tripled the budget for services with a unique approach.
Progress on violence can be slow, and at times it can be frustrating. But we're working on it day in, day out.
The mayor named Darcy Flynn.
So this position is brand new as a result of Mayor Lightfoot's leadership.
As the first ever city director of gender-based violence policy and strategy, Flynn wrote a 36-page strategic plan that makes Chicago the first major city in the nation to create a comprehensive approach to gender-based violence.
And so we can't create a system that's a one-size-fits-all if that's not the experience of survivors. And so we've been really trying to take a step back and say, this is what survivors experience, so how can we as a city come together to address those needs in a really comprehensive way?
Prior to the plan, the city had allocated just $7 million, and it was only for domestic violence victims. But under Lightfoot's approach, using $25 million from federal COVID funds, the city is working to combat all forms of gender-based violence.
We don't care if you're a domestic violence survivor, sexual assault survivor, or trafficking survivor. We know you need legal services. We know you need rapid rehousing. We know that you need emergency financial assistance, and so we're going to build those resources for you.
The money is meant to create connective tissue between city departments and to strengthen the city's response to victims.
So we need to build the muscle across the entire city government, 34-ish departments that exist.
One new approach
to coordinate in ways that we have not done so before
is to involve the health department, where a pilot program is treating not only the victims, but also the abusers.
If we're able to get to the person who is causing the harm, it may indeed not only help them as the individual, but also help the family overall.
Instead of addressing the issue.
Survivors like Joe say it's necessary to treat the cause and not just the result.
And even the abusers themselves need help.
This isn't just a bad person who's hurt somebody. This is about somebody who's hurt themselves.
Teresa Nyhill is the Chief Operating Officer of Metropolitan Family Services, an organization that provides help to thousands of Chicago area families dealing with domestic violence.
I think for many, many years we've done a pretty piecemeal approach. I think it's really innovative that the city is taking this approach.
The city's plan would allow anyone in need to seek help at virtually any public agency, with universal training given to city workers from the housing to the health departments and from family services to schools.
So if someone is going to CPS, going to public health, coming to city colleges, we're all on the same page for referrals, for support. If it's something we can't do, then we know that one of the other agencies are providing it.
But social workers like Joyce Coffey, the CEO of Family Rescue, an organization that supports domestic violence survivors, says she hopes the city can keep the momentum.
Spend this money now that you have.
After the money from the American Rescue Plan and the CARES Act dries up.
My biggest concern at this point is whether is the fact that those dollars are not sustainable. They will not always be with us.
There were people passing me by looking at me like I was a monster.
Ann Myers-Powell, who wrote a book on her experience in forced prostitution, now runs the Dreamcatcher Foundation, the city's only nonprofit focused specifically on human trafficking victims. She says the city's plan should include a new center with shelter and services exclusively for women who have been conscripted in the sex trade.
If we can't do this, what can we do with our own problems in our own backyards? Some of these are your daughters, your nieces, you know, people in your family, or it could be. And if we keep on looking at human trafficking as not being a problem, that's what's going to happen.
There is a need for help everywhere.
But for Joe, who is beginning the healing process, there is gratitude that a problem long hidden in the shadows is now squarely in the city's spotlight.
There is definitely a lack, and there's definitely a need. So I'm excited to find out that there are still compassionate hearts that care and see a need and are putting forth works and efforts to improve the situation.
On the South Side, Mike Lowe, WGN News.